when the armored transport rolled out through the southern gate of the 9th safe zone. The cabin fell into a silence that felt almost oppressive. The heavy rear doors locked behind them. The noise of the outer district vanished. Only the low growl of the engine remained, along with the vibration of the wheels grinding over the road. Lin Jin sat beside the window in the logistics cabin. Outside, the high wall of the 9th safe zone slowly retreated from view. The southern wall rose 120 meters into the air. It was built from composite steel, reinforced spiritual concrete, and layered anti-pollution arrays. Every 50 meters, an automatic turret watched the wilderness. Between the turrets, patrol soldiers moved back and forth with spiritual rifles on their backs. To ordinary people, that wall was safety itself. But Lin Jin knew walls could break. 10 years ago, during the defense of the outer city, a starbone tide had torn a gap through that very wall. His father had died there. His younger sister had been infected by pollution during that same disaster. The transport passed through the final checkpoint. Outside the cabin, machinery groaned. The southern gate slowly opened. Beyond it lay the wilderness. A gray, ruined wilderness. There were no clean roads, no stable lights, no orderly buildings. The earth looked burned, and in the distance, broken remains of old-world towers leaned out of the ash. Sometimes, enormous bones could be seen half buried in the soil. Even in daylight, the wilderness seemed covered by a layer of gray. Someone in the logistics cabin swallowed hard. Zhao Peng sat beside Lin Jin, clutching his backpack with both hands. His face had gone pale. "Brother," he muttered, "I suddenly feel like cooking porridge has a very bright future." Lin Jin looked out the window. "Is it too late to regret coming?" Zhao Peng was silent for 2 seconds. "Very. Then think less." Zhao Peng sighed. "Your way of comforting people is almost as cheerful as Teacher Han's." At the front of the cabin, Han Tai stood beside a fixed handrail, giving the final mission briefing. His voice was as hard as iron. "The rift for this mission is D913. It appeared 3 days ago in the 6th cleanup zone of the southern wilderness. Preliminary evaluation. Low rank rift. Active starbone count under 30. Highest individual threat no higher than mid-stage first tier. The elite combat class will handle starbone elimination. The logistics support class has 4 responsibilities." He raised one finger. "First, equipment transport. Second, pollution data recording. Third, safe route marking. Fourth, post-battle containment of pollution sources." Han Tai swept his gaze across the students. "You are not here to act like heroes. Follow orders. Stay with the team. Do not run around. If anyone leaves formation without permission, I will not save you." A student asked quietly, "Teacher, what if something unexpected happens?" Han Tai looked at him. "Unexpected things happen inside rifts every day. So you had better pray today's unexpected thing is not coming for you." The cabin went quiet again. Zhao Peng whispered, "See? Every sentence from Teacher Han ends somewhere near death." Lin Jin did not answer. His eyes were still on the wilderness. From the moment they left the wall, the pollution lines in his sight had become clearer. Beneath the ground, thin black threads spread like roots. They gathered from far away toward one direction. That direction was the so-called low-rank rift, D913. If this were truly only a low-rank rift, the pollution lines should not have been this dense. In his mind, Lin Jin asked, "Are you sure it is a mouth?" The voice of the nameless soul envoy sounded in the depths of his consciousness. More accurately, someone hid a mouth beneath a low-rank rift. Lin Jin's eyes darkened. A starbone? Perhaps. Or perhaps something more intelligent than a starbone. Lin Jin looked toward the front of the convoy. The elite combat class was in the armored vehicle ahead of them. "Shen Qing, Qin Yu, and the other high-ranking Awakened students were all there. This mission was officially a low-risk training exercise. But if the rift was wrong, they would be the first to touch the danger. Should I warn Han Tai? Lin Jin asked. The envoy replied calmly. With what reason? Lin Jin fell silent. Intuition? A feeling? Pollution lines? The first two reasons were useless. The third could not be exposed lightly. And in an official mission, he was only an F-rank logistics student. His words carried very little weight. The envoy said, "The greatest problem of the weak is not that they cannot see danger. It is that even when they see it, they do not have the right to make others believe." Lin Jin's fingers tightened. The words were unpleasant, but they were true. Half an hour later, the convoy reached the outer edge of the 6th cleanup zone. The doors opened. Cold wind rushed in, carrying the smell of rotten soil unique to the wilderness. Students stepped down one after another. Not far away, several military summoners had already built a temporary camp. In the center of the camp stood 3 spiritual detection towers. Blue rings rotated slowly at their tops, scanning in the direction of the rift. Farther away, about 2 kilometers out, a black fissure slanted open across the ground. It was about 30 meters long. Black crystals grew along its edges, flickering now and then with faint star-like light. That was D913, a low-rank rift. From the surface, it did not look large. It even seemed more stable than the standard examples in the textbooks. After the elite combat students got out, their mood was clearly more relaxed than that of the logistics class. They wore black low-rank combat suits, each equipped with a basic spiritual short blade and emergency medical device. Qin Yu stood near the front, rolling his shoulders with excitement. Finally, real combat. AB rank fire mage from a magical realm laughed beside him. It's only a low-rank rift. Probably not even enough for young Master Qin to warm up. Qin Yu looked toward the logistics class and happened to see Lin Jin. He grinned. I just hope certain people do not get so scared their legs give out. Zhao Pang cursed under his breath. Does this guy get sick if he goes one day without mocking you? Ignore him, Lin Jin said. Zhao Pang looked toward the rift and swallowed. Seriously, are you afraid? Lin Jin stared at the black lines tangled around the rift's edge. Yes. Zhao Pang was about to speak when Lin Jin added, so stay close to me later. Zhao Pang froze. He had expected Lin Jin to say something stubborn and fearless. Instead, those words made him feel a little safer. A person who was afraid but still calm was often more reliable than someone who claimed not to be afraid at all. In the center of the camp, a military captain walked over. He was a second-tier fighter, with a spiritual long spear on his back and the weathered face of someone who had survived real battle. I am Liang Feng, field commander for this mission. The rift has remained stable for 32 hours. The outer starbones have been cleared twice. Only low-rank individuals remain inside the outer layer. The student team will enter the outer area for combat training. The military squad will hold the perimeter. Han Tai asked. Pollution index? Normal, Liang Feng said. The detection towers show peak pollution within the low-risk range. Han Tai looked at the towers. The blue rings were rotating steadily. All instrument readings appeared normal. But Lin Jin saw several extremely thin black threads wrapped around the base of the nearest tower, like black silk covering the eyes of the machine. He frowned and took one step forward. Han Tai noticed immediately. Lin Jin, what is it? Everyone looked at him. Lin Jin paused for a moment, then said, the detection towers may be interfered with. Liang Feng looked at him. And you are? Han Tai answered. A logistics class student. His spiritual sensitivity score is relatively high. Liang Feng did not dismiss him immediately. He ordered the technicians to check the towers again. A few minutes later, the report came back. Equipment normal. No interference detected. Qin Yu let out a laugh. Lin Jin, are you just nervous because this is your first time outside the wall? Several elite students laughed with him. Logistics class. Understandable. If he is scared of a low-rank rift, how is he supposed to ever reach the front line? Han Tai did not laugh. He looked at Lin Jin. Are you sure? Lin Jin looked at the detection tower. Then at the rift. I cannot prove it. The answer was honest because he truly could not. Han Tai's gaze stayed on him for a few seconds before he turned to Liang Feng. Increase the perimeter watch by 1 level. Liang Feng nodded. Agreed. Qin Yu's smile faded slightly. Teacher Han, you are taking an F-rank's guess seriously? Han Tai looked at him coldly. On the battlefield, arrogance kills faster than monsters. Qin Yu shut his mouth, but the contempt in his eyes did not disappear. The operation began soon after. The elite combat class entered first, the logistics class followed at a safe distance, carrying equipment cases, record modules, and containment boxes. As they approached D913, the air became colder. The black crystals around the rift gave off a faint ringing sound, like glass trembling at a frequency too high for the ear. The first starbones appeared in the outer layer. They were small, half-human height, with thin bone limbs and dim starlight flickering in the cracks of their bodies. For the elite class, these creatures were perfect training targets. Shen Qing moved first. Blue-white lightning flashed beneath her feet. Her body cut through the field like a streak of light, and a starbone collapsed before it could raise its claws. Clean, fast, precise. Several teachers nodded. Qin Yu was even more direct. Ocean blue spiritual pressure erupted around him. He stepped forward and punched a starbone squarely in the chest. Bone armor shattered. The creature flew backward and smashed into a crystal outcrop. The elite students cheered. The fire mage released a short burst of flame, burning 2 low-rank starbones into blackened fragments. The combat class began to relax. To them, this was no different from a supervised exercise. Lin Jin stood behind the logistics line, recording data with Zhao Pang. But the more starbones died, the tighter his expression became. The pollution lines did not disappear. They gathered. Every fallen starbone released a small black thread that sank into the ground and flowed toward the center of the rift. It was not being cleaned. It was being fed. Lin Jin looked at Shen Qing, who had just cut down another starbone. Something is wrong, he said under his breath. The nameless soul envoy replied. Then watch carefully. Watch what? The moment the prey realizes it has walked into the mouth. At the center of the rift, the ground suddenly pulsed. All 3 detection towers outside the field let out a sharp alarm, then went dead at the same time. The blue rings turned black. Liang Feng's expression changed. All teams, retreat from the rift perimeter. But the order came too late. The black crystals around D913 split open. The low-rank starbone fragments scattered across the battlefield suddenly melted into black sludge. Bone plates, claws, skulls, and starlight gathered into one place as if pulled by an invisible hand. The ground bulged. A massive arm tore out. Then a second. Then a head covered in layered bone armor rose from the rift. The thing that crawled out was no longer a low-rank starbone. It was a 3rd-tier mutated body. The entire training field froze. For a group of students who had just awakened, 3rd tier was not training. It was disaster. Liang Feng charged forward with his spear. Teachers, protect the students. Combat class, retreat. The mutated starbone opened its mouth. There was no roar, only a silent wave of pollution. Several students clutched their heads and screamed. Their eyes filled with black veins. Their fate realms flickered uncontrollably behind them. Qin Yu tried to block the shock with his Ocean Emperor tyrant body. But the pollution passed through his defense and struck his spirit directly. He staggered back, blood spilling from the corner of his mouth. Shen Qingyi's lightning flashed again and again, cutting through the mutated body's outer armor. But every wound closed almost instantly. She understood immediately. The body is not the core. Her voice had barely fallen when black threads shot out from the ground and wrapped around her ankle. She slashed them apart with lightning. But more threads rose around her. The mutated starbone turned toward her. Lin Jin saw it clearly. Inside the monster's chest, beneath layers of bone and sludge, a black knot was pulsing. All pollution lines connected there. That was the core. No one else could see it. Liang Feng and Han Tai attacked from both sides. Their spiritual pressure tore open the mutated body's shell. But the black knot remained untouched. Every second that passed, the pollution spread farther. Students were beginning to lose control. Zhao Peng's face was white. Lin Jin, we should run. Lin Jin did not move. His gaze was fixed on the black knot. In his mind, the nameless soul envoy asked, "Do you want to live?" Lin Jin's fingers trembled. The envoy asked again, "Or do you want to save them?" Lin Jin closed his eyes for half a breath. When he opened them, the fear had not vanished, but it had become quiet. "If I draw the blade," Lin Jin asked, "what price do I pay?" "Pain," the envoy said. "How much?" "Enough for you to remember that borrowing power is never free." Lin Jin gave a low laugh. "Then lend it to me." In the black wasteland of his soul, the rusted blade trembled. In the real world, Lin Jin stepped out of the logistics line. Han Tai saw him and shouted, "Lin Jin, get back!" But Lin Jin was already running. Qin Yu, kneeling on one knee, looked up in disbelief. "Are you insane?" Lin Jin did not answer. He rushed past the collapsed students, past the broken equipment, past the edge of the pollution field that made even elite students tremble. Black lines filled his vision. They crossed, twisted, and converged. The closer he got, the more pain tore through his body. It felt as if something invisible were peeling his nerves apart strand by strand. The nameless soul envoy's voice rang in his mind. "Do not cut the shell. Do not cut the flesh. Find the lie that keeps it alive." The mutated starbone swung one massive arm down toward Shen Qing. She tried to move, but black threads locked her legs. At that instant, Lin Jin reached the monster's side. In his hand, a rusted black blade appeared. It did not look heroic. It did not shine. It looked old, broken, and heavy with ash. But when Lin Jin raised it, every pollution line in the air seemed to tremble. The mutated starbone turned its head. For the first time, its empty eyes showed something like fear. Lin Jin heard the envoy's question one last time. "Do you want to live? Or do you want to save them?" Lin Jin swung the blade. The strike was not fast, it was not beautiful. Compared with Shen Qingyi's lightning or Qin Yu's tyrant body, it looked almost crude. But the blade passed through every layer of bone, sludge, and spiritual pressure as if none of it existed. It touched the black knot, and cut. The entire battlefield went silent. The mutated starbone froze mid-motion. A thin black line split across its chest, then its massive body collapsed inward. Not exploding, not scattering pollution, but crumbling into gray ash that fell harmlessly to the ground. The black threads vanished. The students who had been screaming slowly stopped. Shen Qing fell to one knee, staring at Lin Jin. Qin Yu's face was pale. Liang Feng held his spear in both hands. Unable to speak, Han Tai looked at the ash on the ground, then at the rusted blade in Lin Jin's hand. No one laughed. Not a single person. The F-rank logistics student had killed the mutated third-tier body with one strike. And more importantly, after the mutated starbone died, no pollution spread. That was impossible. Every combat instructor knew that killing a polluted body by force often caused a secondary contamination burst. That was why containment teams existed. That was why logistics support had to seal remains after battle. But Lin Jin's strike had not merely destroyed the body. It had severed the pollution at its core. Qin Yu struggled to stand. His pride forced him to say something. That was luck. His voice was weaker than he wanted it to be. No one echoed him. Shen Qing looked at Lin Jin and said quietly, "You saw the core." Lin Jin's hand was shaking. The rusted blade had already disappeared. But the pain remained. It crawled through his bones like cold fire. He looked at Shen Qing. Maybe. Han Tai walked over. His expression heavy. Lin Jin. Lin Jin turned. "Teacher." Han Tai looked into his eyes. "From now on, you do not answer unnecessary questions." Lin Jin understood. The school sealed the incident before the convoy returned. The official report stated that the military instructors had discovered the mutation in time and eliminated the threat with coordinated support from the student team. Lin Jin's name did not appear in the public version. To the students who had seen everything, that silence was even more frightening. On the ride back, no one mocked him. The same cabin that had been filled with jokes before departure now felt heavy and strange. Zhao Pang sat beside Lin Jin, stealing glances at him again and again. Finally, he whispered, "Brother, tell me honestly, are you really F rank?" Lin Jin leaned back against the cabin wall. The monument said so. The monument also said danger level sealed. Lin Jin closed his eyes. Then maybe the monument was confused. Zhao Pang opened his mouth, then shut it again. In the front vehicle, Qin Yu sat with his fists clenched. He had been saved by Lin Jin. By the F rank he had mocked again and again. That truth was harder for him to accept than his injury. Shen Qing looked out the window in silence. The moment Lin Jin cut the core kept replaying in her mind. That strike had not resembled any ordinary Fate Realm ability she knew. It was not strength. It was not speed. It was not elemental power. It was as if his blade had declared that the monster's existence was false. And the monster had obeyed. That night, Lin Jin returned to his small room exhausted. Before he could rest, someone knocked on the door. When he opened it, Han Tai stood outside. Behind Han Tai was an older man in a dark military coat. The man's hair was streaked with gray. His eyes were calm, but the pressure around him made the air seem heavier. Lin Jin had seen his face in textbooks, news reports, and city defense broadcasts. Chen Beixuan, the city guarding throne of the 9th safe zone. Lin Jin immediately straightened. "Commander Chen." Chen Beixuan looked at him for a long moment. "Lin Jin." "Yes. I watched the footage from D913. Lin Jin said nothing. Chen Beixuan continued. "The public report will not mention you." "I understand. Do you?" Lin Jin met his gaze. "If too many people know what I can do, I will become more trouble than a student can handle." For the first time, a faint change appeared in Chen Beixuan's eyes. "You are calmer than I expected." Lin Jin replied. "Today I learned that being weak does not stop danger from finding me." Chen Beixuan was silent for a moment. Then he said, "The 9th safe zone has a special reserve force. The Ashes Reserve. It trains candidates who may one day stand on the true front line." Han Tai looked at Lin Jin and added, "This is not a school club. People die there." Chen Beixuan said, "If you join, you will receive resources, training, and access to missions normal students will never touch. And in return, you will face pollution that ordinary summoners cannot handle." Lin Jin did not answer immediately. He thought of the black knot inside the mutated starbone. He thought of his sister in the hospital. He thought of the medical bills, the sealed danger level, and the rusted blade in the black wasteland. Then he looked at Chen Beixuan. I have one condition. Han Tai's eyelid twitched. Very few students would dare to negotiate with the city guarding throne. Chen Beixuan, however, did not seem surprised. Say it, my sister, Lin Xiaoman. I need advanced medical eligibility for her. A stable treatment chamber. Better pollution suppression. Whatever the hospital can provide. I need access to it. Chen Beixuan looked at him. Do you know what you are asking for? Yes. Advanced medical eligibility is not something a student can exchange for one field performance. Lin Jin's voice remained steady. Then consider it an advance payment. Han Tai stared at him. Chen Beixuan's expression did not change for several seconds. Then he laughed softly. It was not mockery. It sounded almost like approval. Good. Lin Jin said nothing. Chen Beixuan turned toward the door. I will approve her treatment. Lin Jin's fingers tightened at his side. Chen Beixuan stopped before leaving and looked back. But Lin Jin, once you step into the ashes, there is no road back to an ordinary life. Lin Jin thought of the day the sky cracked. He thought of the southern wall. He thought of the monster that had looked afraid when his blade rose. Then he said, I never had an ordinary road. That night, in the black wasteland, the rusted blade stood beneath the starless sky. The nameless soul envoy stood beside it. For the first time, he did not ask Lin Jin to draw the blade. He only said, the first cut has been made. Lin Jin looked toward the distant bone palace. What happens next? The envoy's blindfolded face turned toward him. Next, you learn why this blade was sealed. Quote,